Let's get back to the lawsuits and legal challenges. There are many. Earlier today, Senator Nelson's attorney, Mark Elias, where have we heard that name? Oh, that's right, the dirty, filthy PP dossier. He accused the Scott campaign of playing dirty. That's fun. Tweeting, quote, "There is no evidence of any fraud in the Florida recount. There is undisputed fact that thousands of lawful ballots haven't yet been counted." But Rick Scott's team was quick to fire back, saying in a statement, quote, "Today's lawsuit filed by Bill Nelson's D.C. lawyer and a group of liberal Washington groups can be described as nothing less than a legal white flag of surrender." At this point, Mark Elias is taking his client for a ride, anything to pile up the billable hours. This new lawsuit asking to allow votes that came in after the election is non-serious, a joke in legal circles. So which side has the stronger case here? Joining me now, attorney and spokeswoman for Judicial Crisis Network, Gayle Trotter, is in studio. Gayle, welcome.
Great to be with you, Kennedy.
So let's talk a little bit about this because, of course, Florida, number one. Number two, why weren't these counties better prepared for a very close election or series of elections that Florida always has?
Right, and this is giving us flashbacks of the presidential election in 2000. It's not like they haven't had plenty of advance notice that this election was coming up. There are very strong laws in Florida dealing with the procedures for making sure that every single Floridian's vote counts and to make sure that it's a fair and transparent process so that all of the candidates can know that they are being treated with respect of the process and the voters know that an election is not going to be stolen.
But sometimes, say with the military ballots, they're not counted until November 16th.
Right. Well, usually it doesn't come down to that. So we're at the point here where, you know, a lot of these early votes were supposed to be tabulated and submitted the day before Election Day actually happened. Then within 30 days of the 30 minutes of the polls closing, then those vote counts were supposed to be submitted. Then they're supposed to be giving every 45 minutes, both sides, information about the total number of votes. So the problem is when you torture the numbers to try and get the results that you want and you keep counting.
It seems like both sides are essentially trying to do that with these recounts and lawsuits. Right. Brenda Snipes in Broward County, she is the county election supervisor.
Yes.
She's not doing anyone any favors.
No.
She has been questioned in the past, and she has been reprimanded for voting irregularities.
She has by state courts.
Ballots.
And, you know, it's interesting when you're talking about the two campaigns going after each other and there's no allegation of voter fraud. Well, actually, a state court did find on Friday that Brenda Snipes had not done what she was supposed to do under state public records law and also under the Florida Constitution. So there has been court rulings within the last couple of days showing that there are irregularities. And maybe that's not fraud, but it shows they're not going by the process.
If somehow the vote tally flips to the point where either Nelson or Gillum is awarded the race, what do you do then?
Right, it calls into question the integrity of the entire election process, and that's a real problem. Not just people in Florida should be concerned about this. All Americans should be concerned about this, and I think that's why there's so much attention drawn to this very local race.
Okay, so I guess the question is, because there are still a lot of outstanding questions for some people about the 2016 presidential race and whether or not Russia was able to actually change votes. So are our systems either so outdated or so vulnerable that it is easy to manipulate and create a fraudulent system?
Well, you need to have people who are trustworthy. And so Brenda Snipes has already had many problems, not just in contests between Republicans and Democrats, but you might remember with Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
If you got in that much trouble and you created that many problems, would you still have a job?
No.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Come on, man. Public sector's just got a little nasty. Gayle, thank you so much.
Great to be with you.
Appreciate seeing you.